Are you feeling tired or overwhelmed, possibly lost in a world of trying to figure out your 35 to 55-year-old body? Thinking it's perimenopause or thyroid dysregulation, possibly adrenal fatigue. The list goes on. Your liver is actually probably the problem. I'm Lacey Grimm, wife and homeschooling mama of 4, entrepreneur, God-fearer, folk herbalist, and aromatherapist. I'm a holistic health coach and a nature enthusiast, and I'm here to help other mamas crack the natural health code for themselves and for their families. And this podcast, The Liver Fix. I will download my personal revelations here, including why focusing on your liver is probably the actual fix you're in need of. So if you'd like to be a healer in your own home, tune in. This one is for you. This podcast is actually brought to you by my favorite 90-day liver renewal protocol, and it's available to you at 25% off with my link. You'll find it in the show notes. There are thousands of products on the market, but this program actually optimizes the power of herbs and essential oils, plus pure nutritional supplements, making it simple and easy. You'll feel more energy, better moods, fewer cravings, improved sleep, hormone balance, and so much more, all in less than 5 minutes per day. This system has transformed my health. I believe one of the hardest parts of being well is the constant challenge we're faced with in finding companies that provide products that are as good for us as they claim to be. Thankfully, I found one in doTERRA. Committed to purity, potency, and accessibility, their transparency and education continues to blow me away. Having partnered with them for over a decade to help families empower themselves with natural medicine that also improves the lives and the land of those who supply the plants we need for our health. As a family farmer, sourcing is as important as purity. The liver is like the soil of our body, the medium by which we can sustain our own growth. And if our journey towards health does not include healing the earth, it just simply is not sustainable. Find the link in the Liver Fix show notes or go to laceygrimm.com and start your liver loving 90-day protocol journey right now. Okay, episode 1. Let's just get it out of the way, right? It's likely to be a little awkward. I'm so glad you're here listening. I am going to start with my story and why I created this liver renewal program to start with, why I think the Liver Fix is the answer for a lot of things, and sort of just how you can even just simply and easily begin dealing with anything that might be stuck in your liver and healing it and treating it with the respect that it deserves. So, quick story. Maybe it's not going to be quick. Maybe I'm going to give you the extended version. So the week I was born, which this week is my birthday, so it's almost exactly 44 years ago. I was born with jaundice, pretty severe jaundice, and so I had to stay in the hospital for an extended period of time while that cleared up, which, a lot of babies are born with jaundice, which is just, liver needing to move that bilirubin. And I don't even know the full depth of what jaundice is, nor do I feel like I need to, but I have looked it up in the past. And I think what I've realized over time, I always felt a little compelled to understand that better, to understand, okay, what was going on with my liver from the get-go? And what maybe was stressing me out just as that early infancy. It was like my what I was born with. And you kind of overlook these things and you think, oh, I just had that when I was a baby and I clearly got over it. I was a healthy kid. I did everything that normal kids do at that time. And, I had chicken pox. I had all of the other colds and flus and got over them quickly and was sort of normal that way. But then in high school, like every good high school girl, I got mono, which was pretty severe. It was it was a struggle. I thought my mom was really nervous about it because there was a bit of a scare that it might be Lyme's disease or Rocky Mountain spotted fever because I did find a tick on me, but it turns out it was just mono. Which is sort of anticlimactic, but mono does, and a lot of people have been exposed to mono, cause issues that can be long-term, that can go on and that you can see coming back. You might not even know that you had mono because it wasn't so severe a case at the time, and a lot of times you don't get tested and you just think you had the flu or whatever. For me, it was so severe that I did get tested. I couldn't get off the couch for a week or longer. It was pretty tough, but I think that over time, as I would be exposed to other things, that was sort of lying just below the surface, and it just kind of gave me what I felt like was a weak constitution. And you hear that word constitution, and I really encourage you to start thinking that as your liver, because it really is. It's sort of the bedrock of your health. And if your liver is strong and it is well supported, then it can do what it needs to do. And anything that you're exposed to is going to be less severe, because your liver is your processing system, right? It is the thing that takes stuff in and then determines sort of how to move it in and out and through and in, and how it needs to go. So we really need to focus on our liver health and what is it telling us. So many times we have symptoms that crop up that we think need to be diagnosed in one way or another. And symptoms are so often really just our liver saying, look here, look here, look here. And so many of the things that especially women my age are looking at are, hormone imbalances, by and large, weight gain, digestive stuff, all of that, and skin stuff. It's all related to liver function. And I know it feels too good to be true to have like this one quick fix. The bad news is it's not going to be a quick fix. The liver fix is this is going to be a lifetime commitment. But I think that this is important because I think culturally we have shifted from being in a place where liver fixing was sort of a part of our daily routine because we were out in the fresh air more and we were eating, potentially forageable items. We weren't so easily able to let go of some of the things that you had to you had to use. Every part of the animal used to be used, the liver, the organs, all of those things that were replenishing the liver, that were fortifying the liver. We scrapped, right? We're like, that's not good. I have so much access to sugar and flour and starches and all of these things that used to be super expensive, that used to be difficult to get. Now I have access to all the time. Why am I going to bother with those things that I don't like? Why am I going to eat bitter things when I can have sweets, right? So we've really acclimated ourselves into thinking that everything we eat should be palatable. Everything we eat should be delicious. And unfortunately, it's kind of weeded out most of the things that are actually really good for the liver in terms of triggering its production of bile and the movement and kind of just waking it back up. So we have to do those things more frequently. Now, I'm not going to start day one. We're not going to start with some of the bitter things that you can be eating. We're going to start with some simpler things. But I did want to give you a quick overview of what you can expect just through listening to this podcast, what I'm hoping to help you with. And that really is just finding simple things that you can do in your daily life that will have a massive impact on your overall health. And some of them are so simple, you're going to be like, okay, I already do that. Some of them are going to be so simple, you're like, that's too dumb to do. But I promise you, I'm going to tell you valuable things, and they're going to be things that are possible. Some maybe a little harder than others. But I really want to break it down pretty simply. So I'm going to give you a few of the outline of some of the things that you can look forward to hearing on the podcast. In the future, I'm going to be talking about the art of listening to the liver. So really starting to understand, what is it saying? How is it talking to us? What does it mean when it's talking to us? We really just need to understand the language of our liver. What are the signs of a struggling liver? There are many, and breaking that down will be really helpful. What is the liver really even doing? Helping you understand how it functions. Once we know how something works, it settles everything into place so that we can really be more proactive about how we do our living, our life, how we treat our diets and our foods and our little habits, because we start to understand, everything falls into place. Understanding if you're a liver abuser, there are certainly some more detrimental things that you might be doing that you could cut out easily, or even maybe not so easily, but that are pretty top priority in terms of what you can do to improve liver function. We're going to talk about things that the liver loves. Some of them you may actually love. They aren't all terrible, I promise you. Some of them are fabulous. So it's about taking those fabulous things and really giving your liver this luxurious treatment. The rhythm. So one of the major things that's so important for liver health is just how we go about our regular day, what we're doing when, what we're eating when. And so sometimes it's not even about changing what we're eating or what we're doing, but just in the order that we're doing it. And it feels so simple, but there is kind of a master plan of how to do these things and in what order. We're going to talk about stress management and how that impacts liver health. I am going to overview a 90-day liver renewal protocol, which is already in my show notes if you want to give that a look over. But I am a huge proponent of finding something that works, and this has worked fabulously. And it's so simple and so natural and clean. Also, how can you overhaul your pantry and create a liver lover's pantry simply and easily? And then a bonus episode of natural facials and beauty from the inside. I'm going to share some of my favorite recipes and how simply I make these products that are so fancy. And I mean, really high class, but very low dollar. So I'm excited to share that with you. And I will talk a bit about how medications and herbs interact with the liver, how we want to be paying really close attention to those things and how we're using them. And then I actually have several series broken out for the future. I'm really looking forward to all of this. I think that it's, one of the simpler things in life. Like, let's pay attention to our liver, but it's interesting how every little thing we do does have a major influence on this organ, and we haven't been giving it the credit that it deserves. I also really want this to be an interactive experience. I know podcasts are tricky because there's no commentary right below however you're listening. But send me some emails. I am Lacey at theschoolhouselife.com. You can find me and how to contact me at lacygrim.com. And all of those links are going to be in the show notes. But I really would love to hear your thoughts and get your questions and try to dig deeper with y'all. So please don't hesitate to reach out and make this as interactive as you possibly can. I did, for my liver renewal program, I did create some great handouts and things, and that liver renewal program is available. I'm marking it down to just $27 into perpetuity because I just want everyone to have access to that, and I'll put the link to the show notes in that, and your coupon code is just going to be the liver fix so that you can get that at that discount. I packed so much value in there, including so many of the resources that I've fallen back on, the recipes that I just mentioned. All of this you can get right now. But you don't have to, because I am going to break it down podcast by podcast. And at the end of every single episode, I'm going to give you a really simple challenge. One little thing that you can be doing for a week to enhance your liver wellness. And it's, of course, something that you can do for longer than a week. But let's challenge ourselves to just do one little thing every week and see how it feels. See if it's something that we can make become a reality in our regular lives. So the first challenge, we're already to that point. I want to keep these short and sweet, but the first challenge I want to leave you with is to just journal one sentence daily about your energy and your digestion. So what did today look like? Was it difficult? Was it easy? I also want to fit, this is supposed to be for another week, but I'm going to fit this into add something, a bit of gratitude, like just thanking your body for doing your digestive activity appropriately. It's really nice of our body to let us let things go, right? It's really important that happens. There's actually a Jewish prayer all about just opening the right holes at the right time and being in prayer about that every time it happens. I think to recognize how grateful and how much gratitude we should have about our body functioning in the way it's meant to. So anyway, that's your challenge for this episode. Do it. See how it makes you feel. See if you can notice any changes or shifts, or if you notice any sort of rhythms through your week or your days. Something to keep track of that's really important is just noticing. Just notice. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I hope you're already excited about where this might lead and the healing that you might find through listening and through paying more attention to your liver. It really can fix a lot of things.